Hello, everyone, and welcome to the INGenIOUS panel on job placement. Today, we'll hear from our two theme leads and four great panelists on the topic. I want to tell you a little bit about the INGenIOUS project before we start. INGenIOUS is a joint effort by the professional societies in this field, and we're really trying to improve the opportunities in the future for math and statistics students and the workflow pipeline in general. In an effort to do this, we're hosting 6 conversations online, and it's going to be followed up by a workshop in July. All of this information is available on INGenIOUSmathstat.org, and the link is available on the page you are viewing, as well as the discussion forum where we'll take this conversation after today's call. With no further ado, I'd like to turn the panel over to the theme leads, Dr. Susie Weeks and Dr. Artie Shah.
Okay, thanks, Charles. First of all, good morning, good afternoon, good evening to wherever you are joining us. And on behalf of Susie and myself, I want to welcome our distinguished panel. What I'm going to ask, instead of me introducing the panel, I'm going to ask each one of them to introduce themselves and probably just a couple of sentences about what they do and where they are. So, Brenda, why don't we start with you? Brenda? Can you hear me? Okay, seems like we have a technical glitch. Stacy, why don't we start with you? Can you go ahead and introduce yourself, please?
Yes, hi, my name is Stacy Lindborg. It's a pleasure to be here today. I work at INGenIOUS, which is a biotech company based in Cambridge, Massachusetts. I'm in charge of clinical development for INGenIOUS, and I've been in the industry 17, 18 years.
Okay. Thanks, Stacy. How about Noah?
Hi, my name is Naval Langmeyer. I'm a mathematician at the National Security Agency located at Fort Meade, Maryland. I have been at the NSA for almost 17 years now, ever since I completed my doctorate in mathematics.
Okay. Thank you. Michael?
Hi, yes, I'm Michael Dorff. I'm a math professor at Brigham Young University in Utah, and I've been a professor for now 16 years.
Okay. Thank you. Brenda, do we have you? Brenda, let me try once again. Stavros, do you know whether she is?
It looks like she's having trouble. Let's proceed, and we'll work on getting her connected. Thank you.
Okay. Okay. Susie, is Susie still with us or not? Okay, she can't hear us either. Okay, so let me start with, I have a couple of questions that I would start with, and then invite the rest of the community to send their questions in. First question I have for our distinguished panelists is, what are the opportunities in your industry you see for students with bachelor's degrees in mathematics or statistics, and similar question with advanced degrees, be it master's or PhD. So Stacy, if you want to begin with that, and then I'll invite the rest of the panelists.
Absolutely. So I think relative to bachelor degrees, I'd say they are really limited to none in the pharmaceutical industry. Certainly at Biogen, there are numerous opportunities for masters and PhDs. I'd say it's almost endless. And in fact, I think institutions are very different as it relates to degrees. We focus on obviously the foundation of training, but masters and PhDs being very very attractive employees, and then putting them in places that they can leverage the other skills that we'll talk about today. Relative to masters and PhD, there really isn't any kind of rule in terms of a lead compound role or other role like that. There are other skills that often differentiate between those two. So endless for the upper level graduate degrees.
Okay, thanks. Noah?
So at the National Security Agency, the opportunities for people with degrees in mathematics at any level are pretty similar. Historically, the NSA hired people with bachelor's degrees, and then in the mid-1990s, when the academic mathematics job market sort of fell apart, the NSA took advantage of that to recruit a lot of people with doctorates. Since then, things have sort of balanced out. We have exactly the same recruitment and interviewing process for people with bachelor's, master's, and doctorates. And I would say that our hiring is pretty equal across those 3 degree levels. In order to get a job as a mathematician at the National Security Agency, you are required to have a degree in mathematics at one of those 3 levels. And the people with master's and doctorates come in at a higher grade than people with bachelors, so you're making a little money at the beginning, but within a few years the differences between the different degree levels really sort of disappear. Everybody's doing the same level of work, and quite honestly, the good people with bachelor's degrees perform at exactly the same level as the good people with doctorates.
Okay, thank you. Michael, what do you hear? What do you hear from from your students, Michael?
Okay, so let me give you a little background about myself. For the past 5 years, I've been running a careers in math seminar for students where we invite speakers in who are from various different non-academic careers, and we have them talk to the students about their job opportunities. So I'm going to pull up some slides, if that's okay.
Sure.
We'll see if this works. And these are a list of some careers that are available for students that are outside of teaching, and they include some places that are actually have hired recently. So let's see if I can do this. I'll do the screen share, and here we go. Can you guys see that? Oh, let's see. Can you see it now?
Yes.
Yes, we can.
Okay, good. So I'll just talk through this here. So one of the big areas that when we invite people in, one of the big areas that seem to employ mathematicians right now is this area called big data or data scientist, data analysis or data mining, and lots of places are hiring there for this. Google, we've had somebody come in from Google to talk about it, Netflix, NSA, and even sports teams seem to be interested in that. Computational biology is another hot area. We've had people from Center of Disease Control and Farsight Pharmaceutical come in and talk. We've also had financial analysts as a job, people from Goldman Sachs, RBS Global Banking, Capital One, operations research analysts. We've had people from Lawrence Livermore, Department of Defense, and then aerospace and engineering, which was always kind of interesting to me because I always think of these as just purely engineering, but they're interested in hiring math students. In fact, my oldest daughter just got a job with Raytheon. She's finishing up her master's in mathematics, and they were eager to hire a mathematician. Boeing, Lockheed. Programmer is a job that somebody with a bachelor's degree in mathematics and some programming skills can easily get a job with different places. Here are some places I know. Epic Systems in Madison, Wisconsin is actively hiring math students, especially those with just a undergraduate degree, a bachelor's. Vast Enterprise in Denver, Colorado is hiring. Okay, cryptanalysis, NSA, actuary, a lot of people know about that. And even there are some jobs doing computer graphics for Hollywood. So let's see. So those are some job opportunities that I've heard of when I brought in people.
Thank you very much, Mike. Sorry, Michael. Can everyone hear me right now?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay. This is Suzanne Weeks, and I'm sorry that I'm late joining, but I've actually been here, but my mic has been on mute, and maybe something's wrong with the visual. I'm not sure.
You look just fine. We can see you.
Oh, okay. I see. All right. So the next question I wanted to hear about, now that we know what the opportunities, some of the opportunities are there. So do each of you see some specific skills that mathematicians and statisticians bring to the office and bring to your industry that other majors may not? And what are the key attributes you look for when you look at potential hires? Nava?
Sure, I can start. So at NSA, we hire mathematicians partly because we need people who know mathematics. Some of the cryptanalysis and cryptography that we do involves number theory, algebra, some other forms of mathematics. But more generally, we're looking for people who are able to apply problem-solving skills and analysis to data sets, to uncovering patterns, to trying to understand the way communications are working. And mathematics teaches people how to approach the kinds of problems that we have. So while sometimes we recruit people who have very specific mathematical areas of knowledge and skills, that's a very small part of our overall recruiting. For the most part, we're just looking for people who have flexible thinking, who are good at solving problems, who are good at communicating. That's something that's really important for people that we bring into the NSA. That's something that I think is different between us and some other companies and organizations that hire mathematicians. It's very collaborative at the agency. People are generally not able to go off in a corner and do their own work and write papers and contribute in that way. You really need to be able to talk to other people about your ideas, listen to other people, understand the problems, and work in groups. So those are the sorts of skills that we look for. It's really important for people to be flexible. One of the things that when I interview people, one of the things that will turn me off quicker than anything else is someone who says, I studied X in school and I want to keep doing that. And you will not do well at NSA if that's the way you're thinking about doing mathematics and doing that kind of problem solving.
That's right, because that may work for an academic position that you drill deep into one field, but for example, you didn't do cryptanalysis or signal processing or anything like this. You did complex variables. Complex analysis. So Susie and I went to graduate school together. So I know a little bit more.
Yeah, so my doctorate is in complex analysis, specifically geometric function theory, and I have done nothing in that area since I took the job at NSA. And in fact, I'm not really doing mathematics anymore at all. Now I do more technical management. I run an organization and I help other people do their work. And what I ended up working on mostly in my career from a technical standpoint is wireless communications. So I learned a lot about how satellite phones and cell phones work. There wasn't necessarily a whole lot of actual mathematics there. I did a lot of programming, but I really had to understand very complicated structures and standards, and my training in mathematics allowed me to do that kind of analysis.
Good, thank you. And Stacy, how about you? What skills that makes mathematicians or statisticians appealing to you in your industry?
What makes them appealing? I'd also love to answer what distinguishes us, because I think that's a really good question.
Okay.
But I'll start with skills
whatever.
that I think are very attractive. And I would say when I'm mostly, so I will be speaking from the biotech, biopharm industry perspective. And while we certainly have, we hire mathematicians, I'd say it's more the exception to the rule. The majority of our hires, I think, are statisticians. So. So when I think about that, it's actually very similar to what was just described from NSA. We're looking for superbly trained statisticians and mathematicians. Again, we largely hire statisticians, but really that's just getting